in today's session of Divorce Court. Lee Welling has already lost his wife Katrina to another man, and he's struggling to hold on to his children. Now Lee Welling confronts the man who is ready to take his place in today's session of Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Judge Mablean Ephriam presiding. You may be seated.
Good day. This is a matter of Lee Welling versus Katrina Welling. And Mrs. Welling, I understand you're divorcing and you're asking this court to award you child support.
Yes, I am.
Very reasonable request, but tell me what's going on.
Well, I married Lee with the assumption that I was going to have somebody that I could depend on to help me take care of our kids. We have two little boys, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. And we had problems, so we separated. And since then, Lee not only separated from me, but he no longer has anything to do with our children. And this hurts me because my kids mean the world to me, and there's nothing I would not do for them. And for him to be able to just go and do what he wants to do and not even bother to come and say hello to them. He lives across town, Your Honor. He can't even come and say hello to them. Regardless of what he's going to stand up here and say, he cannot even come over and say hello to his kids.
And nor does he provide support for them?
He doesn't help me support them in any way at all. He doesn't even give me any money to buy him diapers.
How long have you been separated?
For a little over 2 years.
Mr. Welling, what do you have to say for yourself?
Your Honor, right now, I'm trying to get it. When we separated, I had nothing, so I had to start over again. And I work hard, and I do want to take care of my kids, and I do want to support them. But every time I try to go over to the house, I got to sit there and listen to verbal abuse from her boyfriend. And I don't need it.
Your Honor.
I want to just go over, take care of my kids, and be responsible for them. Yes, I did take off there for a while when she was pregnant with the oldest one. I got scared.
Left when she was pregnant?
Yes, Honor.
I was 6 months pregnant. He took off to go back.
You got scared of what?
I got scared of the kid, being a father. I got scared, yes. But I came back and I want to take care of my responsibilities. That's why I came back.
So you're saying when your wife was pregnant with the first child?
Yes.
You got to win?
The first one.
Because you were scared of being a father?
Yes.
I was scared too, but I had to stay there and put up with it.
That's what I was about to ask. What do you think she was going, what's happening with her?
I mean, I can imagine she was scared.
So you ran from your responsibility?
But I did come back and take care of my responsibilities.
And then you produced a second child?
Right.
So by then you weren't scared anymore, right?
No.
Right?
Right.
You were ready to accept the responsibility of being a father.
Yes, ma'am.
And yet what did we have?
And now she's saying that you took off a second time.
I didn't take off a second time.
No, I kicked him out the second time.
She kicked me out.
Why did you put him out?
Because he decided that his job and his friends with wrestling was more important than coming home and seeing what me and my kids needed.
What do you mean his job was more important? What was his job?
His job, he works in a restaurant, okay? And there's nothing wrong with him working in a restaurant, but the people that he worked with...
Especially if it puts food on your table.
Yeah, but I'm saying the people that he worked with were not good people. His friends that he chose were the wrong kind of friends that he should have had at the time.
Like what? Why were they the wrong kind of friends?
His friends, none of them had girlfriends, none of them had kids that they took care of.
So the persons that he hung out with wanted to go partying.
And he went with them.
And he went with them and left you at home to take care of the children.
Yeah, I was at home with our kids.
And that's why you put him out?
I put him out the first time. Then I brought him back because I felt bad and he promised me that he was going to change. So I brought him back into the house with me and the kids.
Why don't you tell him?
And now he's still not taking care of the kids.
Why don't you tell him when I walked over to the house?
Tell me.
I walked over to the house to give her some money. I walk into the house and I catch her in bed with him.
Now, when you went over to her house to give some money, was this before or after you had separated?
This is after we'd separated, Your Honor.
So if you're separated, can't she have anybody she wants in the house?
I guess. I mean, that's up to her, but still, that's not the point.
So that's why you didn't give the kids money because there was another man there?
I did give her the money, but I caught her with him. She's laying in the bed. He's behind the door.
What does that have to do with child support?
You gave me money.
I have no problem with it.
But you said that when you left, you didn't give anything because you didn't have anything. And you
didn't have anything.
And you had to get yourself together and start over.
Right.
In the meanwhile, while you're starting over, whatever that means, what does that mean?
I had to go out and buy furniture and all that stuff, clothes, silverware, all that stuff that you need for an apartment, because I had nothing.
And in the meanwhile, while you're buying furniture and silverware and stuff for your apartment, bedding, etc., you think your children didn't need to eat?
No, I didn't.
Oh, they did?
They needed to eat.
They
So your
needed to eat, but
furniture
I
came
had 'em.
before them?
I didn't buy any furniture. I bought silverware. Friends have given me furniture. Friends have helped me out with little odds and ends stuff.
And who's helping out your kids?
Me, my mother, my family. Definitely not him.
See, I think maybe you went back into the house to accept the responsibility of being a father. And then once she put you out for whatever reason, she's saying that you really weren't accepting the responsibility of being a father and a husband because you were going to work, but you weren't coming home to spend time with the children, to talk with them, to play with them, to bathe them, to feed them, to sit down and just hold them. But you still, I think, were running from the responsibility.
That's not right. I mean,
Wasn't that right?
I come home from work and I'd take care of my kids. Or when I was, and when I had a day off and she had to go home, she had to go to work, I stayed home and take care of the kids. I had no problem with that.
But once you left out of the house, when she said you had to leave, that was not your decision, right?
Right.
She made the decision that the marriage is over.
Right.
Put you out.
Yes.
Did you say in your mind, now that you've put me out, I'm out, it's your responsibility, you take care of the kids, you kick me out?
No, it wasn't like that at all. I work at a restaurant and I barely was making any money. I just made enough to put.
Just enough to take care of you?
No, I made enough just to be able to pay rent and buy the food, and that was it.
Which means taking care of you. Pay your rent and buy your food.
Right.
That's all the money you made. So
That's right.
And you didn't have anything left over to take care of your children.
No, I did not.
So that's why you haven't paid child support.
That is right.
In over 2 years, he hasn't had any money to send me to help
Let me
take care of
ask
the
you,
boys.
how many times in the last 2 years since you didn't have any money left over after paying rent and buying your food, you have a car note too?
No, I have no car. I walk everywhere I go.
Okay, after paying rent and buying your food, how many times did you go out in that 2 year span with your friends?
Don't tell me you never
Twice, 3 times maybe.
Twice or 3 times. So what'd you do in the evenings after work?
After work, I go home and go to bed.
What'd you do on weekends after work?
Go home, go to bed.
You didn't go out to drink. So suddenly, once you left your wife, you stopped hanging out with your friends? Is that what you're trying to make me believe?
They come over every once in a while, but I don't go nowhere.
When they
I
come
can't
over,
afford to go anywhere.
when they come over, what'd you do?
I sat at home and talked to them.
All right. So now, were you part of your children? Did you go see them? Did you go spend time with them?
No, I don't.
Did you bring them to your house since you weren't going anywhere?
Yes, I have brought them to my house.
One time.
That's so much
Well, let me see how
garbage.
many times.
I've brought them over at least 3 that I know of.
3 times in a 2 year period. That's real often.
When divorce court continues, the judge gives Katrina's new boyfriend a hand.
Wow, that is. And I am not being facetious.
If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourt.com. Divorce court continues in the case of Katrina versus Lee Welling as her new boyfriend prepares to testify about stepping in to play daddy to Lee's children.
3 times in a 2 year period, you're at home. You can't give them any money because you're not making enough money, you said. So now you can't give them any time either? Why only 3 times? You're not doing anything but sitting at home in the evenings.
Right.
On the weekend, you're only sitting at home.
I gotta listen to his verbal abuse when I do go over there. I went over there one day to pick up the kids, and I...
Who is he?
Khari.
This gentleman sitting here?
Yes, ma'am.
You have to listen. Why are you giving me that little fake smile?
You pointed my direction and asked if that was me. I was just...
Oh, that's your smiling face?
That
Smile
absolutely
back.
is.
So you had to listen to him just to go over there and see your children.
Yes,
Is that what you're telling
every
me?
time I go over there, I gotta listen to Khari verbally abuse me,
So that's
whether
your
it's in
excuse.
front of my face or behind my back.
Those
I
3
went over
times
there-
that you went, that's what you had to listen to.
Yes.
And it never-
I may not have brought him over to my house I brought him over to the house 3 times, but I have gone and picked him up and went to the parks or played basketball
That's
with
what
him.
I asked you. How many times have you gone to see your children in 2 years?
Probably 6, 7 times.
Oh, that's a little bit more. But why can't
I
you?
doubt it.
Why couldn't you have asked Miss Welling, or I'll ask you, why do you just drop the children at his house?
Because he never tells me when he's going to be home or anything else. He's always telling me, oh, I got to work. I got to do this. I'm not going to be able to do this. Khari has offered to pay Lee's cab fare to come and see the boys and then pay his fare for him to go back home.
This gentleman?
Lee's always busy. Yeah, Khari's not as bad as Lee makes him sound.
Step
Khari's
forward.
the one
Let
that
me
helps
meet this man.
Khari's the one that gets up in the middle of the night with my kids if I'm not there. Khari's the one that helps me support these kids. He helps buy their food, buy their clothes, buy their shoes. My oldest is going to be starting preschool. Khari's the one checking into that for me. I mean, Khari helps me more than Lee ever
When
did
did you
while
meet
we were
Khari?
together. When did I meet him?
Where?
He worked with me.
And when did you meet him?
I met him before Lee and I split up, but I didn't start actually talking to him until 2 months after Lee and I got separated.
And he's doing all of this for you? Do you live together?
Yes, we do.
Oh, so now he moved in?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, and he's just assumed the role of father?
Mm-hmm.
Shortly after your husband moved out?
Yeah, but he didn't assume the position. At first, we were just roommates. Lee is a fool.
He didn't assume which position?
He didn't
Position
assume
of
the position
father
of
or
being my
another
man.
position?
Yeah, as far as my kids are concerned. I mean, he didn't really start doing anything with my kids or for my kids when we first moved in together.
Because when you
we were
first moved in
roommates.
together, he was just taking care of you, right?
No, we were just roommates to begin
Oh.
with. Lee.
So you
is
had
a
this
fool.
gentleman to move in with you as your roommate once you put your husband out? Or did you move to his house?
No, okay, Your Honor, what happened was we were staying with my mother. The whole time we were married, we lived with my mother. Okay, we had one room that we lived in because we couldn't afford to move out because he didn't want to work but one job, and that was 6 hours a day.
All right.
Okay, I was working 2 jobs when I was pregnant.
So you're living with your mother.
We were staying at my mother's house. Okay, when I kicked Lee out, Khari had some problems, and after 2 months after Lee and I had separated, Khari came into my job one day and was telling me that he was having problems. So my mother let him come stay with us so that he would have a place to stay.
Ooh, so then when he came to stay with your mother and your mother played the Good Samaritan, you and he then took up residence together?
Not really. He was just there. I mean, we weren't doing anything that we weren't supposed to be doing because I was still married. I am still married today, but, you know, we've been separated for so long.
But that doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't with him anymore.
So you're
I
telling
don't
me
care.
this man, your mother let him move in because he was having problems. She's playing the Good Samaritan. You and he end up in a relationship together, and now you're sleeping
but it
together,
didn't
and you
happen
moved
as
out and you're
quick.
living together.
Yeah, it didn't happen as quickly as Lee made it sound, though. I mean, it took time for us to get together.
No, it didn't sound like it took too much time to me. You said 2 months.
No, that was after we separated that he came over.
Right, and then how much
when he
time
first
after
moved
that?
in, when he first moved in, we didn't mess around at all.
A week, 2 weeks?
No, it was probably a couple months.
Oh,
because
that's
he
a
had his
long
own
time. Especially since he's just a roommate and your mother's giving him a room. But now, this is an honorable man. So you say, Mr. What's your name?
Khari Smith.
Khari Smith.
That's correct.
Mr. Smith, what do you have to say?
What do I have to say?
Yes.
Well, as far as verbal abuse and all of that, I told this man that I would pay
Don't
for his
call him
cab
this
fare.
man. His name is Mr. Welling.
Okay, Mr. Welling. I have told him that I'd pay for his cab fare to come over to see the boys, that I would pay for him to pay for his cab to get home. I also told him that if there was a problem with me being there, I would leave while he was spending time with the boys. I've explained that numerous
You
times.
offered all of that? You offered to pay their father to come and see them?
Yes.
To pay his way?
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you do that?
Because
That's an unusual offer.
the kids need to see their father.
Wow, that is, and I am not being facetious. I am not being facetious. You deserve a hand. I don't know too many people who would do that. To understand that it's time for, that it's so important for his children to see him, that you said, I'll pay your way. Not only will I pay your way over here and back, and I'll even leave your place
Yes, my
to
house.
allow him time to be with
When
his
he
son.
came over for my, he
Mr.
came
Welling,
over
is that
for,
right?
what was that?
Like 2 weeks
Benjamin's
ago.
birthday?
Oh, you're full of it.
Oh, when did you make this?
You are, no.
When did you make this offer to him?
This was a good 3 or 4 months ago. It
And
was a
full
long
of
time
it.
because Katrina and I actually had moved into a different house since then.
And
It's
did he
been
ever accept the offer?
He didn't accept the offer. He said, no, I'll just come tomorrow or come the next day or something like that. A week later, he shows up, takes the boys for a couple hours, brings them back home.
So who's taking care of them in terms of their needs? Mrs. Welling said that you're doing a lot for them. You're enrolling them in school?
Yes, my oldest one, hopefully he'll start preschool in August.
Mine. You can call them yours now, huh?
When divorce court continues, the judge puts an end to Lee's excuses for not taking care of his children.
With the first one, Your Honor, there's a chance that he ain't even mine.
Oh, you know what? You just might as well accept that you got 2 kids.
Closed captioning for divorce court provided by... If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or email us at www.divorcecourt.com. Divorce court continues in the case of Katrina Welling, who says her new boyfriend is better to her children than their own father.
You deal with them as though they're your children.
Yes, I deal with them as they are my own children.
Well, I mean, you can deal with them as though they're your own children, but you really can't take away his parental rights. So you can't say my children. Okay. That's not good.
Okay.
All right? Just say, you know, just call them by their names, but they're not your children.
Okay.
Just treat them like that.
That's what I do.
All right. Here's a stranger. He didn't have any fun with your wife having these kids.
When
you had all the fun. You had all the time. Why can't you take care of, doesn't that bother you to have somebody else taking care of your children?
Yeah, it does. That's why I'm trying to get into a position to where I can take care of them.
Well, you know what? I'm going to help you get into that position.
2 years.
Because if I wait for you to get into that position, by the time you get there in your mind, those kids will be grown. Here's the reality. You, as well as a number of other parents out there, don't make a lot of money. Don't necessarily have enough money for food, for your rent, etc. But you know what? Tough. Too bad. You laid down and made the decision to have sexual intercourse. You laid down and made the decision to get married. You laid down and made the decision to produce those children. And now that they're here, you will make a decision to go get a second job, a third job, a fourth job. Frankly, I don't care if you don't have a place to live as long as you provide some support for those children. That'll be your problem. Because you had choices. They didn't have those choices. They're here now, and they're your responsibility and your wife's responsibility. It's not Mr. Smith's responsibility. Thank God he's accepted responsibility for them. They may be in worse shape. You can use an excuse of the bad mouthing. Mr. Smith, I don't know if it's occurring or not. Ms. Welling, I don't know if it's occurring or not. I'm not going to get into it. I'm simply going to tell you that while you're showing the children love and while you're providing for them, you cannot damage their relationship with their father, and you cannot disrespect him in the presence of those children, and you cannot say anything against him in his absence in the presence of those children, ever. I don't care what you feel about him and how contemptuous you may think he is and what a jerk you may think he is. That is never to be expressed in the presence of those children. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
That goes for you too, Miss Welling. Don't ever say that.
I've done nothing but encourage the relationship between him.
I don't know if you have or haven't. Isn't that what I said?
I know.
All right. Now, Mr. Welling, I don't know how much money you're making, but it doesn't matter. Those kids still need to eat, and you are going to have to accept some of the responsibility.
With the first one, Your Honor, there's a chance that he ain't even mine, but I stepped up to the plate anyway.
You know what? You just might as well accept that you got 2 kids.
I do accept that.
Okay, 2, 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. Whether you like it or not, too late. And you're getting ready to pay for them on a regular basis. $400 of that money that you make per month is going to those children. You figure out how you survive. You figure it out. That's what you should have thought about earlier. Do what you got to do to take care of your children. That's the order of the court.
All rise. Parties may leave the courtroom.
I know it sounds harsh, but I'm
That'll
sorry.
get him going, though.
Yeah, I got to get him going. Because all he is making excuses and using the other man as an excuse for him not to pay. Because the man is there. He better be glad. If he wasn't there, the kids would probably be eating peanut butter and syrup sandwiches.
Yep.
Or something like that.
Well, all he has to do is get a little consistency, and then he'll drop it down.
He just has to get used to the idea that he has to pay.
That's right.
And he hasn't gotten used to that idea and its excuses. And then to start saying it may not even be my child, you know, you know what's going on in his head.
That one was going to come up.
Yeah, I'm not going to pay. No way. No way.
I really don't know if he's going to participate or not. He hasn't thus far, and I'm not looking forward to it.
I don't like it, but I have no choice but to do it.
I think the judge pretty much got him for everything I didn't.
But I have to go out and find another job, obviously, in order to be able to support my family.